Was Dr. Rizwan Qureshi. He was wonderfully explained the opportunities in Australia and New Zealand. There is an announcement. We have a lunch as well at the end of this seminar. So we are going to our last session, which is USMLE and USA Residency, and our speaker will be Dr. Saad Ahmed. He is MD and FCPS in radiology and doing his fellowship from USA.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear colleagues. My name is Dr. Saad Ahmed, and currently I am doing fellowship in radiology at University of Tennessee Health Science Center. First of all, I would like to thank Pakistan Islamic Medical Association for giving me this opportunity to talk on the topic of USMLE. I congratulate Pakistan Islamic Medical Association for organizing this event for the guidance of medical students. Before I begin my presentation, I would like to divide my audience in two groups. First group is those who have already decided to pursue their career in USA. This group will be knowing more than what I have on this presentation. The other group is my target audience, who is under the process of decision making and considering USA as one of the options. So why should you come to USA? While there are many reasons, in my personal opinion, there are two very important reasons you should consider. First, professional excellence. And second, financial reward. As we all know that USA is the best country for medical education, as it has top-notch medical institutes, it has world-class hospitals, and is a leader in the medical technology. USA is the most friendly country for international medical graduates. If you want to experience and practice the best of your profession, USA is one of the best choices. And the second important reason is the financial reward, which is unmatchable. Average salary of a primary care physician is around $294,000 annually, and average salary of a specialist is around $370,000 per year, which puts American doctors' income in top 5% of the world income. So to practice as a physician in the United States, one needs to acquire residency position. There are a few other ways like fellowship, research, and sometimes direct appointment as an attending physician of people with extraordinary professional background. However, all of these positions require you to pass USMLE and get ECFMG certification. So what is USMLE and what is ECFMG certification? So USMLE is a series of exams. It includes Step 1, Step 2, and Step 3. As of January 2021, the Step 2 clinical skill exam has been permanently suspended, and now you have to pass OET as a proof of communication skill and English competency. What is ECFMG? The Educational Commission for Foreign Medical Graduates certifies international medical graduates after their completion of Step 1, Step 2 CK and OET exam, and makes them eligible to apply for a residency position. Remember, Step 3 is not mandatory for ECFMG certificate. So Step 3 is not something that you require to apply for the match. Before we get into the detail of these examinations, you should know a few things. First, in US, a second-year medical student is eligible to register for the ECFMG and appear for the USMLE exam. For the international medical graduates, you can register for the ECFMG if you are a medical student, but your medical college should also be listed in World Directory of Medical Schools. Now, this is important. So coming on to the basic information about the Step 1 and the Step 2 exam. The Step 1 exam basically tests your basic science knowledge. It's an MCQ type, 8-hour lengthy test. It tests on anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, pharmacology, behavioral sciences, pathology, microbiology, and immunology. Important changes, step 1, is that it's now a pass or a fail test and no score is generated for this exam. This change is important as on one hand it has reduced the exam stress from the US and the international medical graduates, but at the same time it has emphasized the importance of the step 2 CK score, especially for the IMGs. So step 2 CK tests your clinical science knowledge, which includes the medicine, the surgery, pediatrics, ops, gynae, psychiatry, epidemiology, and behavioral sciences as well. And it's again an MCQ type test, and it's 9-hour lengthy test. Typical preparation of a step 1 will take around 6 to 9 months, and typical preparation of a step 2 will take around 4 to 6 months. But it's highly variable. So once you pass your step 1, your step 2 CK and an OET exam, what you receive is called as an ECFMG certification. Once you are ECFMG certified, you are eligible to apply for the residency. At this point, you should be familiar with few of the other official terminologies or USMLE bodies. For example, the ERAS, the Electronic Residency Application Service. And the NRMP, the National Residency Matching Program. The purpose of the NRMP is to match the residents with the program in a fair mechanism. We have the Federation of the States Medical Board. The FSMB supports America's state medical boards in licensing, in disciplining, and regulating physicians and other healthcare professionals. So primarily, we went through the ECFMG certification, and what we can do now is we can create application in an electronic system, which is an ERAS. So is there anything else that you need beside the ECFMG certification? Now this is important to realize that ECFMG certification is one of the requirements to apply for the residency. However, ERAS application, there are many other components as well. What are these components? So these include the medical school performance evaluation, medical school final transcript, professional experience, volunteer experience, research experience, US clinical experience, 4 letter of recommendations, and personal statement. Every component is important. However, I would like to emphasize on the USA clinical experience and letter of recommendations from US physicians. Now, this will have a valuable impact on getting an interview, as your residency program directors will have the impression that you are familiar with the US medical culture and health system. Furthermore, the time you will be spending in the US hospitals to familiarize yourselves with the environment can also be utilized to develop personal links, which can be helpful in getting an interview. So once you're done with your application in the ERAS, it's time to apply for the match in programs. At this point, we can consider a case scenario to better understand the time frame and important deadlines which will help in planning the journey of your USMLE. So let's assume after this presentation, you plan the earliest match you can apply for will be 2025. If you start preparation now, you can be in US in July 2025. So this is your plan. You start your preparation this month. You get registered for the ECFMG in the June. You schedule your USMLE Step 1 6 months after, in the month of December this year. Then you plan for your Step 2 4 months after your Step 1 in the month of April next year. And by the time you can also plan yourself to be in the US and get US clinical experience of 4 months at least for the 4 letter of recommendations. So at this point, you should know that you have to spend at least an year to get your Step 1, to get your Step 2, to get your OET, and to get into the US. So next year, June is an important time frame because that's the time when you should be applying for the ERAS. And you need to complete your application on that online system. So your application at that point should be complete. You should have all the prerequisites at that point. And they will open up the process of the match in the month of September. So September is another month. It's another deadline that one should keep in mind. So in the September 2024, you will be applying to different programs, and then you will be getting interviews. The interview season usually starts from October and ends in February. So your interview season might end in February 2025, and after 1 month, you will be having your match result. And if you match, you will be starting your residency in June 25. So the point that I'm trying to make over here is, as you can see, it will take you approximately 2 years of planning and execution to reach your goal. So when one is investing so much time and energy, one needs to ask, what are the chances? I have taken some stats from the recent NRMP data. These are the stats from the recent match of NRMP. As you can see, this can give you a general idea how the things are working for the IMGs. For example, you can see there are approximately 5,000 programs which offers residency. They have 37,000 positions. This year, approximately 43,000 people applied for those positions. Among those, 12,000 were international medical graduates, and out of those, 8,000 were able to match. This is another data. This helps you understand what proportion of positions are there in a particular field. For example, if you see there are 9,000 positions in internal medicine, there are approximately 5,000 positions in family medicine. Similarly, in pediatrics, approximately 3,000. In neurology, you have 800 positions. In surgery, you have 1,600. In psychiatry, you have 2,000. In radiology, you have 143 positions. In PGY1. So these are statistics. Basically tells you how much opportunity you have in a particular field. This brings us to our next. Question, that is how much expense it's going to be. So roughly it's going to cost you around somewhere between $12,000 to $15,000. That's a rough estimate. It can go beyond 50,000 as well. So as you can see, the major expenses of the exams, the step $1,000, step $2,000, the step $3,000. When you apply for the programs, depending on the number of programs that you're applying, it can go from $2,000, $3,000, or $5,000. The airline tickets, the accommodation in the US, and the books and the materials that you're going to buy. So you're going to end up spending approximately $12,000 to $15,000 in the next 2 years. What is that? Why that I can give you at this point? Time to increase your chances of matching. As we know that USMLE Step 3 is not a prerequisite to be eligible to apply for the match, but if you are able to give USMLE Step 3, you can increase your chances of matching. And the most important thing is you need to plan your USA trip early and wisely, because that's the time where you can socialize and develop personal links with the people in the US, right? You can look for mentors in the US who can vouch for your journey for the USMLE. And then you need to focus on the other areas of the electronic application, that is the volunteer experience, your research experience, and even your work experience. And among the work experience, it's important to know that if for any reason we're getting delayed, it's better to start residency, because the residency is the most valuable experience that counts in your CV. And you should definitely avoid gaps in your CV. So, still, what if you don't match? One should be very optimistic and should be positive, because you're going to make it anyway. You're going to make it, maybe sooner or later, you're going to make into the match. But again, if you don't match, then what? So, in my personal opinion, USMLE is a rewarding journey in multiple aspects. It will provide you strong foundation of medical knowledge that will always help you in your career. You can always apply next year with a better CV. Importantly, you can apply for the fellowship position in the US after completion of your FCPS, for example. USMLE is recognized internationally as a standardized exam, and it helps allow you to exempt few of the licensing exams. For example, if you have USMLE, it's recognized in Canada, it's recognized in the UK. You can get direct GMC registration in UK if you have USMLE. The MOH, the Ministry of Health examination in UAE, that's exempt. The HART exam, that's exempt. So there are multiple benefits that you can have with the USMLE in your CV. This brings me to the end of my presentation. And I think the picture tells it all. This picture explains it all, and perhaps the easiest way to explain the USMLE process. And I wish you best of luck in your future.